Hello my little learners, you can call me Lovegood and I hope you enjoy this video. Here's just a few things before we get started. Today I'm presenting you with the epilogue, chapter 22 of Ghostly Bonds, titled Epilogue Start by KittyKat on AO3. But that's enough of my rambles and rambles and let's get right into the fic. Here's the summary. A snippet of the epilogue that was asked for. Read author notes, which I will be doing at the end. The camera jutted, hands covering the lens to get it back into view. "Is it recording?" a voice asked, the camera shaking again. Slowly, the camera moved into focus, showing a bedroom. The walls were grey-blue, dozens of images covering them. The bed was a mess of pillows and stuffed animals, clothes piled on the floor. One of the pillows featured a deep black colour with an orange X in the middle. Others a red gear. One of the stuffed animals was a green and black frog. "Okay," the voice said as the camera shook again. "I don't know exactly how this works. Are you sure it still does work?" the voice called a bit louder. There was a muffled reply before a door shut. "Let's do this," the voice said, a figure stepping into the screen. Her black hair was cut around her ears, slightly curled at the ends. There was a streak of green in the front, tucked behind her ear, freckles dotted on her pale skin like constellations in the night sky. "Hi, Izuku," she said, waving to the camera with a grin that caused dimples to form on her cheeks. "Sorry about the mess. We just moved a bit closer to the school, so I haven't put up my stuffed animal hammock." She picked up a stuffed animal from the floor, a pink Kirby, and held it to the camera. "I have at least one for each hero from your class," she said happily, tossing the Kirby to the bed. "Some were really, really hard to get, like that one." She jumped onto the bed, the camera shaking with the movement as she held it up. It was a purple cat, a capture scarf stitched onto its neck. "It's not technically licensed, but there was an online person selling it." She giggled, dropping it down. "I don't think they sold very much." She crawled out of the bed, pushing the hair out of her face. The camera moved at the hand motion, shaking as it grew taller. "Oh, hello!" she yelled, reaching for it. It flew out of her hands, spinning in the air quickly. The opposite wall was filled with books, majority fiction and art tutorials. "Come here!" she yelled, grabbing the camera quickly. It flipped back, facing her as she groaned and jumped off of what she was standing on. "Hey, Dad!" she yelled, holding it tightly. The door opened as the camera shifted to show it, half obscured by her hand. "What's up, Mimi?" her dad asked, stepping inside. His black hair was clean cut, with zero volume to it. He had a few scars on his face, but they were all healed. The camera shifted as he yelled in surprise, managing to catch it before it hit the floor. "It still flies, but I don't know how to use it," Mimi complained, whining slightly. "I need it for my project." Sukuchi laughed, the camera catching him as he held it up. "Seems like it still works. I'll contact Housemate Industries and see if she could do some repairs." "Will I still get to use it?" Mimi asked, taking the camera from him. Sukuchi nodded, grinning. "See no reason why not. As long as we keep the added security turned off, it should still be legal for civilian use." He hummed, the camera spinning around to face the ground. "I asked last time, but I'm gonna double check it won't explode." Mimi shrieked, and the camera flew through the air, landing face down on the bed. "It can explode?" she yelled, her voice slightly muffled by the sheets. Sukuchi laughed, and the camera moved upwards again, floating towards the ceiling. "Oh, didn't turn it off." He reached up and grabbed it from the air. The recording shut off with a click. "Okay," Mimi said, a grin on her face. There was a slight whir over the recording as the camera bounced, barely. "Dad just got the drone back, so it should all be okay now. I just have to be careful not to do too big of hand signals." She waved her hand in the air to prove a point, but the video feed did not shift. She frowned slightly before shaking her head. Whatever. She tucked her hands behind her back, grinning. She wore a middle school uniform, a black shirt with a white undershirt. "Hi, Izuku," she repeated from the last recording. "You don't know me, or, well, you did. But I was a baby then, so it doesn't count." She waved her hands in the air, shaking her head as she got back on topic. "My name is Mimi, and I'm your sister. Or half-sister. Your mom is my mom. We don't have the same dad, which you know, because you knew your mum and dad until he left. Actually, Mum didn't really say what happened. I guess I never asked. She turned her head to the side, going quiet until there was a small beep. Right, she yelled, clapping her hands together. So, we have this class assignment before summer to finish. It's like a letter to your hero thing, but Dad, Detective Tsukuchi. That's how you knew him, right? She shook her head again, smacking her cheeks. He just got this new shipment of drones from Hatsume Industries. This one was meant to be damaged. She rocked on her feet as she talked, her gaze flickering across the room. My teacher said I could record it and said, "So this is for you." She paused, hesitating. "Hopefully he doesn't take off points since you can't watch it," she mumbled, biting her cheek. There was another beep, and she jumped, grabbing a phone from the nightstand. Right, the topic. She flipped through the phone before finding what she wanted. The goal of this project is to speak to a hero of your choice and explain why you chose them. Talk about their history and how you can implement what you like about them. Use it as an opportunity to research more into the hero you chose. She tossed the phone onto the bed and the camera followed, moving down to focus on the phone. "No, come back up," she whined, waving her hand at the camera. It didn't move and she groaned, grabbing it from the air. "Let me see something," she muttered before the camera went dark. Alrighty, my little learners, and that is the end of this fic. These are the author notes. So, a single person asked for an epilogue, and while I didn't originally have one planned, this one kind of wrote itself. This is just a small snippet of the entire 19,000 word epilogue. I didn't plan for it to be that long, it just happened. Instead of posting it all here, I'm doing a separate work in the same series. I didn't want to mess up the word count with the original. Plus, this way you guys have an extra choice if you want to read it. It's basically just me speaking to the characters 14 years later. I enjoyed writing it, so hopefully at least one of you check out the series and the story. It also has a different writing style, basically just from the camera viewpoint. Jeez. I've said this so many times, but I cannot believe this is actually over. This is the first long-form fic I've podfic'd. And I'm at a loss for words now that it's ended. There will be a poll on my page about which MHA long-form fic you would like next. Also, I got permission ages ago to do a Bungo Stray Dogs fic, and it was a fic I followed since, I don't know, but I followed it kind of early on. Well, I don't know if it's early, I'm getting off track. Anyway, so I'll be doing that either every Thursday or every other Thursday. That will be uploaded as well, if I can find an art to put on it. I haven't got an art for it yet, so it may take a few weeks for me to actually figure something out for that. But yeah, that will be starting up at some point, so I'm excited for that. And whatever MHA long fic is the most voted by the end date. Again, there's information on past posts on that. I think it's literally the one before. So yeah, information's all on there. But yeah, so my little learners, this is a little reminder, you might have something you need to check. I hope you all have a fantastic time wherever and whenever you may be, day, night, dust, dawn, low tide, high tide, whatever it is for you. You can call me Lovegood. And that was the final chapter of Ghostly Bonds by KittyKat on AO3. The link to this fic and the sequel will be in the pinned comment by me in this video, and tags are in the description as well as warnings. Bye, little learners.